rising, people dying, left alone in broken homes, praying to be reunited with family soon. Much sharper, Grand Bahama, devastated. People didn't make it. Our homes are all gone. Families under debris from dusk till dawn. But there is one thing that I know. We serve a God that washes white as snow. So hold on to faith, because we can't bend, fold or break. Nabucco, the only home I know, has been washed away, and as the memories go, it's time to rebuild and restore. I know that God is going to give us more, and we have strength, and we have peace. We are praying, and we won't cease. This is our land, the land of rest. God will restore us back to our best. My sweet Bahamas, Bahama-led, don't give. God's holding our hands. He will provide all of our needs. We might have nothing to give, but prayer is our seed.
Morning, Bahama Land. Morning on this Friday. Morning. We are here today with Fayne Thompson Show, and we have some very special guests. We are going to focus on a theme today, and that theme is going to be In the Eye of the Storm. Now, that song by Clene Davis, we must give her all our props. She's brilliant. She did a fantastic representation of what that struggle must have been about to live, and now having in the aftermath to recover. So we'd like to thank Clene again Davis for allowing us to use that. We have to give her props, use that particular music, because it really hits home. Today we have two very special guests, and we're going to talk with them in about a minute or two. And they are both Prophet Micklin Seymour, President of the People's Foundation, Bahamas in Prophecy, and Mrs. Kathleen Knowles Seymour, the President of the Heal Our Land Family Crisis Center. They are both they both live in Abaco, and they're here today to share with us their harrowing experience in the eye of the storm, and then what they've been going through since then, and what they hope to achieve with both foundations and the work that they do in Abaco. They're temporarily here in Nassau. Their home, and when I tell you guys the story, once you hear their story, their home was one of the few ones to be left standing. That's amazing. Anyhow, so I'm going to welcome both Prophet Seymour and Mrs. Seymour to the show. A good day and welcome to Fayne Thompson. And it's a miracle. Micklin is my good friend. Mrs. Seymour, of course, is my good friend too. But absolutely amazing, Mrs. Seymour. You are literally a miracle sitting here with me. Huh?
Could I say something?
Certainly.
Good morning, Bahamas. That song that you sang, that just played, it was so touching. I know my wife wasn't. If she wasn't coming, she would really burst out crying. Myself, it really touched our hearts, because just going through and experience that thing, it is amazing. It is indeed harrowing. So we thank you for allowing us to be on the show today, and we can share with the Bahamian people quite a different areas in which we feel the Lord would want us to share.
Well, I want you to thank I want you to thank me for allowing you to step into your lives, because This is absolutely incredible. When people hear the story, I've read some of the stories, but your story is even more interesting. In fact, each and every story can stand on its own,
Right.
just as a miracle and as a testament to life and the power of the Almighty. But Mr. Seymour, you first give us a background about yourself, and then of course Pastor McLean Seymour. Everybody know my prophet friend McLean Seymour. We saw your video, and we're gonna play that a little later on in the show. But tell us a bit about yourself, Mr. Seymour.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Kathleen Seymour, and I was born in Nassau. My descendants are from Eleuthera, and I'm the founder of the Gila Land Family Crisis Center in Abaco. And I've been in Abaco now for 20 years. And the Gila Land Family Crisis Center, we have been a center where we've been reaching out to everybody in the community of Abaco for 20 years. Whatever the social ill was, we were there. We have been like a hospital, like a balm in Gilead for the island of Abaco. And the Gila Land Family Crisis Center is the heartbeat of God. We believe in love is the more excellent way. So whoever you are, whatever the need was, we were there. We were feeding, clothing, reaching out to those with medical issues. We were reaching out to the children in the schools, giving lunches. We were reaching out. In fact, we have a Sunday school community Sunday school program that it's been established about since 4 years ago. And every Sunday we have Sunday school with those kids. We reach out to there were times when some of the students went to school and they couldn't graduate, and in order to graduate, we reach out to help them pay off their funds in order for them to graduate. We have a Joshua Generation youth program. We had a youth program on BCN called the Joshua Generation, where the young people would come on and express themselves about whatever situations is going on around them. And also we reach out to the senior citizens. Whatever the social ill, we were there. And in fact, that's my life. The joy that I get out of life is to know that if I can help one person in life and it brings joy and happiness, that is what makes me happy. So this is something that I just didn't start, say, since the storm, came about, but it's something that I've done all my life. And I believe that now, if any time we are going to be doing much more, is now. And what was causing my heart to leap for joy is to see that the whole Bahamas is coming together to reach out. And this is how we should be. Because, see, we are a family of islands. We're talking about being one family. So I believe that God has a great plan in all of this. As disastrous as it may look, God has a plan for this Bahamas, because this Bahamas belongs to Him. And if we're going to be the beacon of light to the world, we got to live it. We just can't talk it. So I believe this is the time that God is really doing something awesome in this nation.
Prophetess, yes. Seymour, of course, Prophet McLean. You both survived the storm. I want you to tell me from the beginning. I know you mentioned some period of 2 days before you decided to go back to Abaco, it was coming. But tell us, let the world know what this experience is all about. Because you're two survivors. I want people to understand that they're actually looking at survivors right now. Incredible survivors. They could not have known where the storm was coming. They could not have known where it would have struck. They could not have known anything. No one knew. So tell me about this harrowing experience in the eye of the storm.
Nobody could have prepared for that storm. I slept right to the edge of it. My wife called me after she was dealing with it, and when she woke me, I looked through the window. I said, "Oh my God!" And I hear her praying, and she wasn't praying no common prayer. She was praying them frightful prayer. So when I got up, I stepped into the same mood, and I moved into the front of the house, and there it was, the door shaking, the window shaking. So I decided to take my position in the living room, and my brother, we prayed. I saw my life in the palm of my hands.
I want you to hold that thought. I think we may be having an issue with BPL. We're having a BPL issue, eh? Yeah, boy.
My brother. Oh Lord. He can fix that up.
Yeah, so we anticipated it last week, but sorry about that break. We had to take a break. We had some, of course, the BPL issues. So we apologize about that break. Mr. Producer, is doing his best to try to keep us on. So, Pastor Seymour, tell me that you had a thought. You were sharing.
Yeah, I was sharing that I literally saw my life laid out before me, and as I came against the door, I literally hear I can feel the Spirit of the Lord saying, I am angry. I am angry. And when he began to communicate to me that the people has forgotten me. They have grown in prosperity, rich. They forgot that it was I who blessed them. But now I am blowing upon it. At the time, I didn't know because we are in the first 10 minutes of the storm. I standing to the door.
What day was this, Pastor?
This was Saturday night.
Saturday night?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night. Sorry.
Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday. Saturday. Yeah. And so we standing there. I couldn't, what he was saying so clear, we didn't see it because the storm had just begun. It was after the storm we saw the level of judgment. I have to use the word judgment because God's hand really moved on our country, particularly Abaco at that moment, in the spirit of judgment. You understand? So I there, and me and my wife, we praying like crazy. The Holy Spirit is speaking tongue. I start hollering, and she was there hollering, so we both start speaking in tongue. I believe that is what saved the home. I really believe it. 5 minutes after that, the neighbor knocked on the door. This was very touching to me. His eye popped, and he said, my roof gone. And his wife is in the wheelchair. This man loved his wife. And so he's saying, come go with me to get my wife, and how's the roof gone? I said, come to the back door, come to the back. He wanted to open the front. Because that's go to the back. So when he heard me, came to the back. And he carried on so bad, I realized I had to go with him to satisfy him. So I made a decision to go. I kissed my wife in her head. And I said, honey, if you don't see me again, I love you. That's how serious the weather was. I was walking out into the winds, something 185 to 200 miles per hour at the time. So it was three of us, her gardener, myself, and this brother, the neighbor. So I started in the front. When we got over there, we meet the place in a mess, just like he said it. And we began to pray. And as we began to pray, the weather became the season. They started saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. In 10 to 15 minutes after that, we went back. The eyes started to move over.
So this is when you got his wife?
Yeah.
You were able to secure his wife?
Yeah. We brought them over. All right? But
the weather started. What you doing at this time now? Pastor Seymour's left the house. What you doing this time? While he out there
While
trying
he
to
was
rescue
out
some.
there, but I was praying. I just was thanking him, and I say, Father, you in control. Whatever you see fit to do, but Father, I start covering the neighbor. I start pleading the blood because I believe there's power in his blood, and I was believing him to take control or whatever. Believe you me, it was. Sometimes it's like you were in a position you couldn't even think.
No.
You understand? And even like he
Things
said,
are happening fast.
was happening, and when we were talking about when we were going through the real, I think it was right before the eye, and when he said the windows were shaking, I was in the bedroom, and the way they were shaking, I went to one of the windows and actually put my hand, because I thought the window was gonna just drop out, so I put my hand stenching to see if I could help the window from falling, right? And that's when I held the window and I started crying out. I say, Father, have mercy. Have mercy, mercy, mercy. I cried out for mercy. I say, Father, thank you for your grace. Your grace, your grace. Have mercy and grace upon this Bahama land. And then I heard him say to me, he said, daughter, he said, I have spoken to my people. I've warned them and they did not take heed. That was the word that came to me. And I still said, Father, but have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. And believe you me, I believe. And then I started to plead the blood. I say, because I felt there was like we were in a whirlwind. And you could actually feel the shaking. And it was something strange I felt. And I said, Father, I plead your blood over this home. I plead your blood. And I believe because of prayers, God truly answered our prayers.
What's going on in the home at this time now while you were the pastor? What's going on?
Right after we get the lady over, the eye came. And we saw people coming from all over towards the home.
They came to
your home.
They came to the home and they piled up.
Where they came from,
it was the primary, it was the primary school and two other churches that lost their roofs. They ran from them to come to our home, and they were outside screaming. And then he said, there's a lot of people outside. And I said, well, we got to take them in. And we were able to take in about 25, 30 people in our home. Although we had something burst through our roof, it was pouring inside, but we were able to put them up to a portion of the living room that they could have, be able to rest. But believe you me, it was so devastating. People were disoriented, people traumatized. And when they came in later on that night, we were able to feed them, give them a hot meal. We had a little gas stove.
So when was it really, really bad? How long was that really, really bad time continuing? An hour, 2 hours?
Half an hour between. I mean, before the eye came, boy, look here. It could be a half an hour to an hour.
And then and the really difficult time was about half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
About an hour.
Yeah.
Afterwards, the wind, of course, it didn't come right away.
No. It
It
But
never.
it was, you were able to move. The people were able to move better. But the wind was there. You understand? But not like the ferocious way. 185.
Pastor and Mrs. Seymour, I have to ask you, what was it that caused your home not to disintegrate?
Well, I believe it was only God. It couldn't be nobody else.
No, we can't give it to nobody else.
Around us.
Around you?
Disintegrated. The neighbor home, their car mashed up.
And our car was
nothing
right on the
happened to
driveway,
it.
nothing. And they were flying big objects passing through the roof of the carport is just about off. And that vehicle stayed there, and you see some big heavy beams that came to the driveway, everything. Nothing touched our vehicle. Nothing.
And somebody else's car was in the back of the yard, right before the door. The wind brought it and placed it there. But ours remained.
And there were other vehicles on, like the surrounding. They flipped over. The vehicles that actually flipped over.
Oh man!
It was.
It's only God could have done what he did.
Now we've been hearing some incredible stories about the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. Stories of death, stories of rescue and survival. How many people did you see? What would happen when the thing?
I haven't seen any dead body, but I know they were there. Because, for example, she started talking about a very good friend in the ministry.
Yes.
All right?
4 people.
4 people who we miss, who were directly involved with the Healer Line ministry. They are gone. One particular lady. Tell about the lady who made your dress already.
We got married last year, the lady who made my wedding dress, she's been washed away. The home is gone, and another lady.
Neighbor.
Yeah, she's the one. She's well known in the community, and mind you, I was prompted to call. Was prompted to call her 2 days before the hurricane and invite her to come and stay by me. And when I called, she said that somebody else invited to come. I said, well, okay, my doors are open. If you wish to come, you can come. She said, okay, I'll let you know. But I understand she didn't move because she lived close to. She stayed where she was. And after the hurricane, when I went in that area and saw there was not even a foundation, everything is gone where she lived.
Wow.
And they have not found her yet. And there's another person who distribute food while I'm in Nassau. She takes care of distributing the food.
For your foundation.
Yes, for the Gila Land Family Foundation. And the husband, I understand the water was so high and he was trying to, they were swimming and he reached out his hand to get her and the wave just swept her away. So, and there are two, even the vice president of Gila Land, his home, and another lady who helps in the ministry, her home is gone, they're gone. And that has really left to me, so especially those two who have, gone missing. It's hard. So when it comes to families who have lost loved ones who haven't seen them or heard of them as yet, it's something you cannot explain.
It's a trauma. It's a trauma.
And how many days in total were you guys without water, food? How was the rescue? Any efforts by the local?
We had the food and stuff we provided.
You were prepared. You were prepared.
Right. We were prepared. But with regards to the rescue, for 3 days after, we didn't see nothing from New Providence. That's governmentally otherwise. I think the Americans reach in before our government reach in. We see a lot of helicopters moving to and fro. We know we don't have any of those, and many of those. So we know it was either the British or the Americans.
Yeah.
So they came in, they had some assurance, but and at the same time, there was no light, there was no water, there was no food, everything. If you had $1 million in your pocket, you could find no place to spend $1 because what really touched me more to see how quick things can change. Abaco was a booming economy. The
25% of our GDP.
The
next day is done.
Cars back up on the road. And overnight,
destruction completed.
The people woke up like they were crazy. The children walking all over the street. Nobody, no jobs to go to, no food store to go to, no gas station to go to, no hardware to go to, no clue. And it's like that right now. You could have smelled the stench of death.
In the eye of the eye of the storm. Let's take a break right now so that our producer can try to see if we can get things operating again. We've had you have? Okay. So let's take a couple of minutes. You want to do that now, Mr. Producer, or you want to go on? You can continue? Okay. 3 days.
3 days?
You saw Americans, you saw the British.
Yeah.
But you didn't see the Bahamian
not at all.
Government.
And you know what's so touching? When we left that Friday after the hurricane, we went to Treasure Keep because the airport at Marshall was closed down. We drove down.
Of course, your car's not working. Your car's one of the lucky ones. You got one of the lucky cars.
Yeah,
by the grace of God, that car is running.
Oh yeah.
It's not covered in water.
We're going to, as a matter of fact, in a few weeks, we're going to get that to bring that to Nassau to make sure, because the people start getting violent. Like you could sense, people trying to get what they could, all right? But we went down to Treasury to come to Nassau. We were surprised to see the amount of people that were at the airport. They were fighting. We couldn't get on the plane. You had over 1,000 people standing in the airport. Everybody knew, being in Abaco, as much as they loved their home, that was no place to be. It was no place to be. Because
why was there not an automatic desire just to go to Sandy Port or somewhere outside of the devastated area? Why not go to somewhere? Why did most people gravitate to the airport immediately? Because they just want... Abaco was done, but Abaco, the toll Abaco was not done.
Yeah, but see, all the light facilities in Abaco comes from Marshall.
Oh,
so you couldn't get light down that way.
I get you.
All right? And the traumatic situation your mind was in. I mean, people need to heal now, Fayne, more than anything.
But tell me about the airport. You're telling us about what happened at the airport.
Well,
That was destroyed. That
Oh,
Treasure
man.
Key Airport was
If
finished.
the rain had come, everybody had to stay with there because Treasure Key Airport was flattened.
We were in the sun.
Okay, thank God for Marshall, but the Treasure Key had no airport. So everybody was in the sun waiting. It reached 7 a couple of people about 1:30. And I mean, plenty people. And all they want to do is get out of Abaco. Yeah, I have never experienced nothing like that. I don't want to go. We don't want to go through that again. Nowhere in this country. But, go ahead.
No, my question also then is how long did it take for you to get out of there?
Well, we came in 7. We had ticket. Our family sent ticket for us, but they wasn't honoring the tickets. All right. They told us in Nassau that they told them to tell us be at the airport at Treasure Key for the 9:55 flight. We got just 7 o'clock, and when they told us that, hey, we ain't checking for no ticket, these flights are free, we were surprised. But however, it seems as if they were, and there was no order. There was chaos. The people was desperate. I've never seen nothing like that in the Bahamas.
But desperate to get onto the flight.
Get out of Abaco. Not only desperate to get on the flight, but get out of
So
Abaco.
you were there for 3 days until you got on. You had to wait another day before you got on.
Yeah, but we decided because we had to do ministry after. So we went through Abaco, my wife and I, and we touched the base. We heard the stories of the people. That's why, I don't cry easy, but when you play that song, it took me both of us back.
Into it.
It's an experience.
It's traumatic.
It's an experience. The people who went through that, words cannot explain. We trying to put it in the words, but you can't explain it because you had to be there to feel this thing. This was a monster.
It was a monster.
This was a monster. This was no ordinary hurricane. And I want to believe that the way how it stalled on Abaco, the way how it stalled on Grand Bahama, no hurricane has never done that before. Then this talk about this and that. You'll believe that easily because there's no way. I mean, God is control everything. He has the ultimate power to do whatever. But sometimes man can interfere. There are implications that he did. This was not normal. This wasn't normal. I can't explain. You can't put it to word. Be trying to put it to word. But I don't want to go through that again. Nobody who's been there want to go through that again. But God is another side to this I want to talk to.
Yes,
I don't know if you really want me to talk to it. As a prophet of God, I have been experiencing for the last 20, 30, and you know a lot about me. God allow us to go through plenty as people in the nation. But the Bahamas has been off course for quite some time. And he has been speaking through the prophetic voices in this country, but nobody was heeding. What the Father's been showing me, and I think this is one of the I know this is one of the reasons he wants the attention of the Bahamas, because he has set the Bahamas apart for his honor and his glory, my brother Fayne. He was showing me God has a purpose and a plan for this nation, but the people are not listening. I know the greatest days for our country is ahead of us, but what he will do. See, he said that through the prophets that the isles of the sea, the Bahamas is that place that the prophet referred to as the islands of the sea. Now people ain't listening to that. He wants the Bahamian people to know that these islands that the prophet Isaiah spoke about is the islands of the sea, and the fact that when he came in 1492, these were discovered, it was a transition across over to the whole world. It was knowledge at this particular point. It's a reason for that.
And you believe, Michael, I know, in fact, that sermon, we got to get that sermon, because we have that sermon.
Okay.
We have that one. And in fact, we should mount it to BNN. But I really want to have you focus on the experience that there's no question this is a miracle. There's no question.
A miracle.
This is the intervention of a much greater force than even the majesty and power of the Almighty was on display.
Yeah. One of the things he said to us, and this is big, and if you allow me to touch it, I want my wife to talk because she got a lot in her too. But just let me say this. He released us from Abaco to come in, and he said, I want you to raise your voice and remind the people and go before them and say and produce to them a prophetic perspective of the Hurricane Dorian. Why did he allow it to happen? And what will be the impact upon the people and nation as a result? That is something he gave me to do, both of us, and we must do that. I am so glad that you have allowed us to come.
No, it's a pleasure to have you.
To begin to talk about this stuff, but it will take us hours to even get into that, because that is the theme. All right? We have been doing things in this nation. Fayne, you have been fighting, for example, for the World Trade Organization. We have been fighting against single market economy and all those, just to protect the Bahamas in a righteous way.
That's right.
But they haven't been listening. God has chosen this place. We have gone a whoring as a nation. We have begun to embrace other nations and given them the best seat in the house. And they have been coming in with their foreign gods. God don't like this. And I don't know, Chinese, all of the nations, they are focusing on the Bahamas. But God is saying to us, I have this for a particular purpose and a plan, and I have chosen this to glorify my name, to bring honor and glory to me. This is my chosen special property in the earth. The next move of God, people need to understand that the next move of God in the world is going to happen from the Bahamas. It has been prophesied.
No,
God
Pastor.
wants the people to prepare for this.
No, okay, Pastor, I know. One thing I must say, you get into that message that I know is on
I
line.
ain't
We're going into that. That's the southern tip will take an hour. But Mr. Seymour, you need to tell me from your perspective now. Getting onto that flight, getting out of there, what are some of the experiences you had just before you finally got out of Nassau? And then I want to come back to
Okay, well, we arrived at the airport very early, hoping that we could have gotten on, especially knowing that we had confirmed reservations. But when we got there, one of the defense officers said to me, I said, sir, well, we have confirmed reservations, because everybody was pushing, everybody just wanted to get out. And he said, well, that's out the door right now, it's all free.
And you had defense force officers then maintaining the peace?
Yes, they had to, because people rushed up to the
Wow.
to Bahamas Air door. You couldn't even get on, and
Wow.
they had to try to bring order, because everybody just wanted to get out, and
So the defense force was there. How many? A number of them were there. Many of them there. How many?
they had about a dozen there.
Maintaining order.
Yes.
In the absence of which there would have been chaos.
Yes, definitely. In fact, one guy was carrying on so bad, and they told him if he didn't calm down, they'll remove him. So it would have come to that if they were not there. And of course, yes. And believe you me, when we landed here, it was like a relief to know that when we landed in Nassau, it's like, oh my God, here it is. We're back to civilization again. And believe you me, people.
That's not even a fishing village anymore. It's nothing. It's devastating.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
So the difference between that and Nassau would have been
Hell and heaven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell and heaven. Trust me, although I never been to hell, but we know what it means.
Yes. So and as we moved from the airplane into the terminal building, persons were standing there, and people was like, they're confused. Where do I go now? I don't know. Some people don't have families here. They don't know nobody in Nassau. So here it is. We were being led to thank God I didn't have to go to a shelter. We have family here. And, we were, like I said, we have an office here for Gila Land, which was set up a couple of years ago. So it's not like we were coming to somewhere we didn't know anybody. So
Pastor Seymour, you're based. You used to be based here before you got married.
Oh yeah, well we lived between
the two islands.
Abaco and Nassau. And so we
being part of Pastor
settled in.
Seymour, the first someone asked who was it. I think it was Miss Brown, Karen Brown. Have you heard from Pastor Seymour? I said, yeah. I understand he's okay. Then just to make sure, I said it myself. Call. Maybe call. Miss Brown, when I go, she called. So
Okay.
a couple of people called her. She said, well,
Yeah.
have you heard from Pastor Seymour? Have you heard from Pastor Seymour?
And there was a lot who thought we were there too.
there were many who thought that
we were there.
even my children, his children, they were concerned.
They thought that we were there.
And they thought it was so long they couldn't get no kind of connection to find out
Yeah,
about
that
her.
was very.
You know, but we believe you me, after the storm and we looked at each other, we felt each other. Hey,
Right.
we alive. We
Yeah.
are really alive.
Right, man.
And believe you me, we know it only could be God. Who else could get the
Same.
glory?
Yeah.
Only Him. And I believe because of the work that both of us have to do for this nation, He allowed us to be alive, because He know He can trust us to do what He wants us to do. Because now the Bahamas has to know it's no more about me or you. It's about us coming together as a family. We have to work together. It's not about politics or denomination, your color, rich, poor. It's about us as a Bahamian people working together to do what God has purpose for this land to be. We, the Bahamas, we don't understand. We are a peculiar people, a holy nation. We are the beacon of light to the world, and He has to do what He has to do to get our attention, to get us where we need to be.
Pastor, you married you married your personality buddy.
Yeah,
Claude.
God has brought us together.
The passion is there.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm smiling for right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's see more.
What I want to say too, what amazed me in that experience, Fayne, is the level of destruction to the churches in Abaco. The Holy Spirit pointed out so clear.
The church is an
But one
understanding.
or two,
But one or
I
two.
think it's just Silver Mills, and they said a Catholic church. But other than that, every church is flattened.
How long
Could
will
you
it take?
imagine in that hurricane, people got killed in the church?
That's in the church.
Oh yeah.
Wall fell down on some of the person.
Not just one.
Being sheltered.
The Lord was speaking in this, there's no doubt about it, to the church in this nation. We have to read it right. We have to become God looking for reality, truth. We have to, as in the prophetic spirit, we have to bear to the people why this is happening. Business cannot go on as usual.
There's no business at all in Abaco.
The word of God said when judgment is in the earth, it is then that the people will learn righteousness. We shouldn't have to wait for God's hand to move this way for us to care, feed, clothe, house, when the church has been given that mandate up front. But the denomination has weakened us. That, there's some things we have to correct in this nation, all over. But why this nation more than any? Because God has chosen this nation to model its government, to model its economy, to model its society, and every sphere of this nation.
Talking about about governments, the economy, and so forth. In practical terms, how long does it take for Abaco to recover, for Marshall to recover?
I can see it within 15 to 20 years.
Wow. Let's see what you.
Everything is down, flattened. The electricity, for example.
The electrical grid is
The
gone.
electrical grid, every every pole, 99% of the poles are down.
Yeah.
Everything is flattened in Abaco.
They
And
have to be
Abaco's a
rebuilt.
big place.
Not
They
just
have to
put
be
back.
rebuilt.
Rebuilt.
You
And
understand?
homes
That
are
will take
destroyed.
some time. The homes, every house
But
roof.
your home is done. Your home is done.
God is good.
But I want to say something to you. You know,
If
on my
there
home-
was a testimony that
God is
Micklin needed, he got it right now, eh?
God is good.
let me say something to you, Mr. Fayne. My home, when I went to Abaco in 2000, and I only went there to make some money because one of my companies was going through some problems and get out. But then before going to Abaco in 2000, God said to me, I have something big for you. That time I think in money, because having business, I had a few businesses, and I was going through a financial situation then. But when I got into Abaco, God said to me, that big thing I had for you, it's a vision called Heal Our Land. And He said, it's not just for Abaco, it's for the Bahamas. And He said that it's a family crisis center, Heal Our Land Family Crisis Center. It's all about families. Okay, and I said, okay, I started saying, but God, I can't do this. I'm not educated, I'm not this. And He said, no, I chose you because of the pureness of your heart. And He said, I'm going to use you whenever you have to speak. I'll touch your lips. He gave me Jeremiah 1. And I said, okay. And then I was kind of fearful to move, to do what He asked me to do, until I remembered there was an accident in Sandy Point with a few young people who got killed. He said, those people don't know me, and you have not yet moved. And that is what moved me immediately to do what he called me to do. And from then till now, and one of the first thing he told me, he's put in my spirit, he said, I want my people to come together. He sent me to pastors on that island. Of course, I was rejected. And then I said, Father, I don't want to do this because these pastors, they looking at me. He said, do what they want. You do what I tell you to do, and I'm going to fix it. So I stayed in Abaco all these years, still being faithful to what he had called me to do. 20 years. 20 years, sir. Now, the home, when I got into Abaco, I was ready, and then about 6 weeks later, somebody was passing that particular home. And I say, stop. The Holy Spirit say, stop, go look at it. It was for sale. Say, go look at it. So, my husband said, well, we ain't got no money for that. So I said, but I have to be obedient. And when I did, we went in, and the lady said, it's still for sale. We looked at it, and God said to me, this house is your house. Didn't know where the money was, but I had to just be obedient. And then afterwards, he said to me, when I moved into the home 6 weeks after, he said, this house is for my honor and my glory. Sir, I've had 2 prisoners come to my door and said that pastors have rejected them. Someone sent them to us, right? One particular guy, we took him, he was from prison, we took him and his family, and they came in, and they we counseled them and what have you. I'm trying to tell you why the house wasn't blown down. Because when he gave me the home, I committed that home to him, to his work. Okay? The drug addicts came in, the prisoners came in, everybody came in.
30 people doing that.
30 people doing it. It was used for pure ministry. I didn't take that house to my heart. And I believe, and even then there's some missionaries that normally would come from Venezuela and stay there. And one of the young ladies, the Holy Spirit told me she was an artist, and she put on the front door, near the front door, the lighthouse. The lighthouse. And she drew a house with the light coming out from it. And that's why I believe the hand of God was on that house. And because I used it for what he purposed for me to do, he honored that home to this day.
We have with us today Prophet Micklin Seymour and Prophetess Kathleen Knowles Seymour. They've actually lived. They were caught in the eye of the storm. They were there at the most difficult time that anybody could possibly imagine to survive one of the greatest challenges of our time, and that is the great might and power of nature. These are things you just don't play with. Now, Pastor Seymour, you also did a video, and Mr. Producer, if we can, there was a video that Pastor Seymour, Prophetess Seymour did, and what we want to do is and it went viral. It had 400,000 hits. So we're gonna play it right now. Hopefully we have that ready to roll, Mr. Producer, and then we'll come back with some final commentary for our show today.
I am standing on the land of Good morning, Bahamas. My name is Kathleen Seymour. I am standing on the land of Abaco 3 days after Hurricane Dorian. Truly, the hand of God has moved on this island to awaken us as a people to know that He is God and God all by Himself in this Bahamas. This Bahamas belongs to Him. He began at the northern gate of this Bahamas. He's speaking from the northern gate. He's giving a warning to the rest of the islands of this Bahamas. If this do not change us, this Bahama land, what will change us? If you were here, you will never ever be the same. You'll walk in righteousness. You'll live righteous. Truly, God has spoken. He showed me 2 years ago that destruction will come to this land. I was in Nassau. He sent my husband and I to Abaco 2 days before the storm. He said, go.
And we really didn't want to stay, but we had to be obedient. We understand why we are here today, to experience this wrath in this nation, to be able to let the Bahamas know he is a God. He wants us. He wants our attention. And the next warning will not even be as good as this. It's going to be worse. So we have to make sure, Bahamians, he's telling us to come together. White, black, rich, poor. Whether you are a pastor, he wants us to come together. He wants intercessors to come together. He wants the church to come together. He wants the communities to come together. It's all about being one, perfectly joined together with one spirit, one mind, that we would build his kingdom in this nation. Walking through the islands and the streets this morning, our young people have nowhere to go. And some of them can't find their husbands, their wives, children. People are crying, looking for their families. And the mud is out, it's gone. And even the rich areas, gone. The food stores, gone. The gas stations, gone. Everything is gone. There's no life on this land. We have to hear the voice of God speaking. During the hurricane, he said to me, daughter, I had enough. Enough is enough. I want the people attention. I've given them warning. They did not take heed. I say, Bahamas, wake up. Wake up. We cannot want it no worse than this. It will be worse. He's given us another chance. During the hurricane, I prayed straight through. And I say, Father, have mercy. Have mercy. Thank you for your grace. Grace. I cried out for grace. The fact that I am here today is telling me that we have work to do, Bahamas. For his honor and his glory. It's not about us. It's all about him. Let us come together and build the kingdom of God in this Bahamas. We are a peculiar nation, a holy nation. We must go forth now from this day on and make change. It's a new day in Abaco, Bahamas. It's time for change. Righteousness exalts a nation.
I will let that speak for itself. Wow.
Yeah.
When I met Mr. Seymour McLean, I did not realize why it was a natural fit for Mr. and Mrs. Seymour.
Well,
I don't think the religious community could handle you guys in this country, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't think, but your passion, Mr. Seymour, was clear. Your sense of the time and the moment in time that you were facing is absolutely clear. I didn't realize. I thought this demure woman. Every time I see her, very demure, very ladylike, very. But you have decided to share with us your soul. And the Bahamas doesn't know you. That's 400 hits, by the way. Those of you who are watching it, 400,000 hits on that particular video. What was that? 458,000 hits. That's more than the size of our country. So the world is watching. The world is watching.
Have you ever wondered? It is amazing that all of the world is focusing on us, or they are harking many places, but not to the level that you and I know.
This was catastrophic. This was catastrophic.
Harrowing, you used the word. I am saying that there's a reason for that. We might be down, but God has a plan for this nation that is going to set us on the top of the world. Ari Cooper said he has called us to be a standard and a model and an example to the nations of the world. I can truly say, Bahamas, that all of what is happening now is moving the Bahamas through a process. The political landscape is going to change. The religious landscape.
This is a cleansing. That's what you're saying. This is the cleansing.
This is a cleansing from every square.
Well, I'm asking about some politicians right now, but I can get mischievous, and I'll need to come on. I'm going to let you do that.
Idolatry, whoredom, voodoo, witchcraft, sorcery. God is tired because He's called this to be a place where he will reveal his glory to the world from.
I know many people who will agree with you with that, and some people will not agree, but I get you.
Yeah.
Micklen, I know where you come
They
from.
better get me, because this prophet for the last 20 years has been saying it.
Micklen, you
But
survived.
God's saying the people ain't listening.
Micklen, you survived one of the greatest movements in history. So in what ecology in you and the wife survived the. I don't. You're a survivor. That's like going through a war.
We went through it.
And to see the passion and the fire that you come out of it on the other side
We went
is
through it.
a testament to your.
And he took
your
us up
lives.
there, my brother Fayne, to cause us to come back to do exactly what you're allowing us to do in the studio
tell the story.
right now. Because he wants the attention of these people. And if we don't, we'll see more of it. But he's going to have his way with this place. I don't want to get in that time when even allow us, but I'm hoping that you'll cause me
No,
to
we can have
come
you
back
back
at another
definitely.
time
Yes.
to move in that aspect, to address why God allowed Dorian to happen and the impact of what he is saying to the people of this nation. All right? He sat down and had lunch with us. They said it's the devil. God used the devil to do things. Didn't he use the devil to crucify his son? Huh? Didn't he use the devil to crucify? Do all you got to do. And hurry up with it. So see, you have to see him the way he works. He works in good and he works in evil. The word of God said he created evil. All right? His word is yin yang, day, night, black, white, sweet, bitter. You understand? Holy, unholy. In a battery, you have two aspects. And this is the clearest way I can explain it.
Positive
You have
and negative.
positive and negative, and that produces light. It's the same principle even in the world. But God has control because everything works together for good. The Bahamas is one of those things, the judgment that we see that has happened, because it is a judgment. We got to recognize that.
Not everybody will agree with on it.
No, I know that.
No, not everybody will agree with you on that.
But I know.
But I know your message is a powerful one because you survived it. You survived it, my Pastor Seymour. You survived it.
Yes.
So your testimony is more powerful than those who just talk. Yabba, 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 yabba.
Yeah.
There's plenty pastors out there just yabba, 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 yabba.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, when I hear the story, you must believe they know that this wasn't no what call it, something on the mountain. Oh Lord. This ain't the sermon on the mountain. This is the home on the mountain.
Oh, watch it now.
I survived. Hey, in direct assault on human life.
Hallelujah.
That you survived.
Hallelujah.
Right. But what I want,
you give us some of your final thoughts on
okay, what I want to say, I am so thankful for is to see that you see the unity that has come about. Everybody now has come to help.
Righteousness.
This is what should have been going on. It shouldn't take a hurricane for us to bring us together. But like I said, God will do whatever He has to bring us together as one. And I pray that this is a new day in the Bahamas, that we will now continue to work together. I mean, denomination out the wall, politics out the wall. We are one people and one family. And in order to see great things happening for this nation, we have to be unified.
Now, I want to say this before we wrap up, and I really do appreciate you coming in and joining me. I'm Mr. and Mrs. Seymour, prophetess and prophet Seymour. I really appreciate this. You have lived through it. I will remember this because I met the two survivors of the Great Hurricane. This will be called the Great Hurricane in 100 years' time. This will be called the Great One of 2019. I'm telling you, there's no secondary. This is the Great Hurricane. Betsy in 1965 is a joke to this. Andrew is a joke to this. Dorian has his or her own story.
Yeah.
And the storyline is incredible.
Can't compare.
And it came with the wrath and it came with wrath,
Fury.
it came with fury, and it came to kill.
That's right. And it did.
And it did.
It did.
And not 45.
Oh no. Oh, hundreds.
I say thousand,
You say-
over 1,000.
you say-
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, I'm not going to dispute that because you
Definitely.
survived
The people ain't come out of. Most of the people are still in the mud.
in the mud or in the sea.
I don't believe half of the mud escaped because they were taking it lightly.
Yeah.
They are under the rubbers.
Wow.
We will see what they
Yeah. Thank you very much to also Pastor Hart for you coming in and like I said, let's permit me to call on you perhaps in another couple of days. I think the government should sit down and speak to you, Pastor, and Mr. Seymour, because you have a perspective. I think you could do some things to help out. When Micklen says that it's not going to be more within the next 10 years, somehow I feel that the business community in Marsh Harbor is one of the few communities in this country that could get up and running within 6 to 12 months?
I think so. About a year.
Can't happen.
You don't even
You
gonna
walk the streets, everything is gone.
I mean, yeah, so what is
Everything got to be rebuilt.
Everything.
The homes, the businesses,
Yes.
the electricity,
That is true.
the structure,
Yeah.
everything
Long
got to
Island
be
did
built.
suffer that kind of catastrophic damage.
No,
This is
everything
catastrophic.
have to be.
You get this. You
Marshall
actually
is
got-
back to the ground.
Yeah. It's not
And
even a
think
fish.
about
It's not
how-
even a fishing village because you can't fish.
Mind you, all building owners come through government have to come through the people too. The people is what build the economy.
I saw-
The people have to make the money. They have to be positioned, all right, to make the money
Just
to
come with the money,
build.
that's it, that's
Come
it.
on, yes. So this is
And then the
now-
working, then the labor force, half of the labor force may be dead.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh Lord,
Anyhow,
we gotta come back.
thank you. Yeah, we're gonna come up. Thank you very much today. This is the Fayne Thompson Show. We'll be back on Monday from 11 to 12. On Wednesday, 11 to 12. Friday again, 11 to 12. We're about to come together come to you with another format. We're gonna give you our formal name. We want to get our YouTube platform organized. We want to do some other things to make this more accessible to you. We are going to be on BNN. You can get us later on tonight. Tag us, or we'll tag you, and you can get aspects of the show. We want to say thank you again also to Clene Davis, that brilliant young Bahamian woman who encapsulated, who grabbed the feeling. I listen to Miss Seymour speak and Nicklin speak. I heard Clene Davis. I heard and I felt Clene Davis. That song.
Oh.
So she, yeah.
She's They need to do something with that song.
Yeah.
It captures
That song
everything.
Right. And you are the Abaconians in the room, so you guys know more than me.
Man, you put that song on us,
Yes.
we relive that thing.
I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna put you to that, but I get you because that's some trauma going on here now. We have some.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming and enjoy your day. God bless and keep safe.
Thank
The
you for
Commonwealth
having
of the
us.
Bahamas.
Man, words cannot. We try to describe it. It cannot be described.